Hey guys, it's Gerry O, Point for Kids First, and today we're reviewing the documentary Never Again Is Now. This is an absolutely inspiring and beautiful documentary about not only historical Holocaust survivor stories, but it's also about events that are going on now, today, in this decade. Now, the story, like I said, is split into two parts. The first part is about historical facts from Holocaust survivor stories, the stories about veterans who freed Holocaust survivors, didn't even know what the Holocaust was yet, because Nazi Germany kept the Holocaust and concentration camps very secretive, so it wasn't until the invasion of Nazi Germany did we actually learn of the horrifying things that were going on there. But it also showed more modern facts, like one of those moving and compelling surprising stories for me was when the creator Evelyn Markus talked about a story that happened to her when she lived in Europe. She was living in Europe with her partner, she was part of the LGBT community, with her partner, and graffitied on her wall was a pink Star of David. Now, if you don't know what this means, it means that it's kind of connecting to during Nazi Germany, because in Nazi Germany, if you're part of the LGBT and also Jewish, you had a pink or blue Star of David depending on your gender. And just to see that there is Nazi symbolism in this year, in this decade, was just so surprising to me and so shocking to me. And I would have never guessed that there's a rise of anti-Semitism in Europe at all, but there is a rise, and this film does an absolutely phenomenal portrayal of that and really tries to get the word out of this because it's horrible what's going on, and it really does need to be spreaded around the world so we can try and solve it. Now, I'd say my favorite scene is when they talk to a veteran who liberated a train full of Holocaust survivors. Now, what was really shocking to me is, first of all, they took this perspective. It's a very unique perspective to talk to a veteran, because not a lot of people do this. They talk to Holocaust survivors or people who lived in Germany at the time, but they never really actually talked to the veterans who invaded, either from Russia or Great Britain and the United States. They never really talked about that, so to see that was very interesting. But to hear what he said, that he was never trained to be a humanitarian, he had no idea what was going on. To see all of that, it completely shocked him and his squad. Luckily, they were able to get all the survivors that were still in okay shape to a local hospital to be treated, because they were malnourished, they were dehydrated, they had pneumonia. It was just horrible, but a lot of them were lucky to survive, and a lot of them were actually going to death camp on that train. So if that train was not stopped by American soldiers, a very, very sad fate would have most likely come to them. Another aspect I loved about the film was the special effects. What I really liked about special effects is that they took historical photos, because there's not a lot of historical films in the 1940s yet, and they made it almost 3D and animated, so it looks more like alive, so you can be more in depth with it, so you can really feel what was going on. And what I really liked about it in a whole is that they didn't just talk to historians. They didn't talk to historians at all, barely. They just talked to mostly survivors. And when they're talking about what's going on in the modern times, they talk to politicians. They talk to people who's trying to do something about it and trying to stop this horrible movement of anti-Semitism rising in Europe. And it was just so great to see that it was going on. And they're talking about how some of the causes of this are, that kids are being raised and are being forced to pray for the death of Jewish people and so many other horrible things. They talk to people who witnessed this firsthand, who are raised believing this without knowing the Holocaust, who were raised believing this. And then they also talked about how they're talking about removing the Holocaust from the school's education because it was too dramatic. And just so many things they talked about was just so mind-boggling, so eye-opening, because I didn't know any of this existed. And I'm sure a lot of other people in the United States and other countries don't know what's going on in Europe. So this film is absolutely fantastic to spread the word, and I definitely recommend it to everybody to watch. I definitely give this film 5 out of 5 stars for fantastic plot, beautiful message, absolutely wonderful call to action, spectacular narration, beautiful music, and absolutely phenomenal special effects. I also give it an age rating of a rather high age rating, around anywhere from 9 to 11 to 18. The reason I give it such a large range is it just really depends on what parents think is right for their kids. In terms of maturity, all it really has is some more dark historical facts, more modern facts that are very dark, very sad, very depressing. But if the parents think their kids are right for this, and if they think they're ready for this, I definitely recommend this film, and I think that everybody should watch it immediately so they can be educated about what's going on in the world around them. If you'd like to check out this film, it is now available on Blaze TV. I'm Gerry O, Point for Kids First. Bye!